Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Kerbal Space Program with me, Alfapiomega, and the 10% challenge. It has been a while, I know, and that is why I'm bringing more episodes. We ended up in a bit of a conundrum, but I decided that we are going to take these two following missions. Test Mark 16 parachute in flight over Kerbin, and test RT-10 solid fuel booster in flight over Kerbin. The problem with these is that they won't give us much money. They will actually give us less money than we are going to spend on this. But the 14 prestige is kind of good, and I need to get back into this a bit. So it's going to be Kerbalik VIII, kind of simple mission, you know. Actually, I'm lying a bit, because these two have very specific, especially this one is quite hard. We have to be between altitude of 1500 and 3700 meters and speed of 430 meters per second and 730 meters per second. This is actually not that easy, because the terminal velocity between these altitudes is somewhere around 300 meters per second, I think. So we'll have to be boosting quite a lot. It's not. I originally wanted to take this one as a return to Kerbin kind of thing, but it's not going to work. We'll have to do this during the launch. So, oh god, this one not that really hard, though. We'll have to carry the RT-10 food solid fuel booster quite high. Well, we'll see. We are at 19,257 cash at this point. So we should be able to spend some. No signs from this mission whatsoever. I'm sorry about that, but it's gonna be prestige wise, and we're gonna get some new missions after that. Wait, that's a wrong thing. Why did I click that? Anyway, last thing before we go to the mission profile is I wanted to say that we already got 157 likes at this point, which is awesome, because we have almost 150,000 towards upgrading the launch pad. So you guys have been awesome, sending me all this cash through your likes, and I much appreciate it. So now let's move to the mission profile. So file 1F contains Kerbalik VIII project. Quite a simple project compared to some of those we already had, but still a significant one. The main objectives of Kerbalik VIII are as follows: testing the Mark 16 parachute, and testing the RT-10 solid fuel booster. Secondary objectives contain maximum savings, which is no damage to the rocket. Now we have no other secondary objectives than that, so the mission plan will reflect this. We will start by launching at maximum speed so that we can reach the speed necessary for the testing of the Mark 16 parachute in such a low altitude. Then we are going to test the Mark 16 parachute between 1500 and 3700 meters. Once that one is done, we will continue climbing, though not at such an inefficient way anymore, until we reach 24,500 meters, and then we will test the RT-10 solid fuel booster. If that works out, we will then start declining, and we will have a controlled landing below 1000 meters of altitude. The project budget is 15,000 Kerbal hours. We have none in reserve, and as always, the project has been approved, and we can now go and design our rocket. Okay, to build Kerbalik VIII, we will need a kinda simple system, I guess. Though I'm not entirely sure whether it's not going to be bad. We'll see. The thing is, we need to take this booster up high in the sky. We need something that will be able to take it there, but also able to kick enough punch for us so that we can test the parachute while at that low altitude. So I think we're gonna go with something like this. 2 of these engines should be enough, though this rocket will be quite heavy. No, sure. I'm gonna waste some of the fuel in the booster, or lower it so that we don't carry that much weight on our way up there. Okay, so yeah, this is looking good, I think. Yeah, this is looking pretty good. Now let's set the stages. We'll start with these 2 engines on max. Then we're gonna have to test this parachute. We'll probably break it, so we'll hopefully have some fuel in these for the return. Oh man, I'm wondering if I shouldn't add more, but you know, we need to be light. I would have to add another engine, and now I'm gonna test it like this. If it fails, then it fails, but you know, I don't want to overcomplicate it. So, full boost start, parachute, then the main stage at the desired height, and then return parachutes while using whatever is left in these guys. Now, how much thrust and fuel you will have? Actually, we don't need much at all. So let's limit this to 10% and give you as little fuel as possible, because we need to carry you all the way up. Okay. I'm gonna actually keep the thrust at maximum. That doesn't really matter, I think. It's gonna give us a short-lived boost, which will be pretty hard, but okay. So Kerbalik VIII is born. I'm gonna save it, and I'll see you on the launch pad. Okay everyone, we are on the launch pad with Kerbalik VIII and Jebediah Kerman. Who else? Now let's do a final pre-launch check so that we can see what we can see. We got the 2 engines which will take us up. We got the parachute to test. We got the solid fuel booster, and we got 2 return parachutes. Now let's look at the missions. Yeah, they're present. I can collapse this one. And we have altitude of 1500 meters to 3700 meters, and speed, my god, what is the terminal? 156 meters per second. Okay, we'll have to go double, over double of that, almost triple. Wow, this is going to be tricky. I just hope we won't tip over. Jebediah, do you have this in your hands steadily? Anyway, let's do this. 3, 2, 1, mark. Okay, we're speeding up quite fast, but the altitude is going up quite fast as well. Come on, come on. Nice. Okay, we got the speed done, and now we can just go for this one. Look at that, we're speeding so, wasting so much fuel. I'm gonna keep it in the desired speed for this one too, though. So let's stay at some 430. Okay, first test has been done successfully, and now altitude 24,000 meters. We got some fuel left, we got some speed left. I can slow down a bit more. I don't really need to go that fast. Okay, come on. Come on. Okay, cut the engines, test the booster. Yes, both tests have been a success. And we got a lot of fuel left for return. Cool. This wasn't all that hard. I was expecting it to be harder. Though, the broken parachute is going to be a goddamn problem once we're landing. Okay, almost at our apoapsis. What's our terminal velocity here? 3,300 meters. Okay. Okay. Well, this wasn't the most fuel efficient mission, but yeah, also we burned way more fuel than this mission was worth. But you know, the 14, was that 14? 12 and 2, I believe. 14 prestige is gonna come in handy. We need to build our prestige so we can get better missions. These are all just basic testing missions that we're supposed to do so that we gain some more experience. But it's really the big ones. It's testing the big parts and big things and doing orbits and everything that's gonna bring us all the goods that we need. But for that we need more prestige. I also need more science though, because we really need to get... The survivability would be a huge thing for us. And so will all the other basic tasks. I'd like to get, you know, to the orbit and everything, but we really have to do some more work before we can do that safely. Safety is not what usually people think of when they're playing Kerbal Space Program, but when you got one shot at every single mission, you really need to think of it. I also am quite happy that I seem to have this in the eye, you know. I know how much fuel we might need for certain missions, so that's definitely good to know. Okay, liquid fuel, oxidizer. Yeah, look at that. Terminal velocity at this height is below 200 meters. 167, yeah, we had to burn like crazy. Okay, time to release the parachutes. And yeah, the speed is quite high, so we'll have to slow down manually. Let's set it down. Oh look, there's our shadow, all the way there. Orbit speed, surface speed. Actually, we're still slowing down, 12.5, 12.4. Yeah, as the density of the air is increasing at terminal velocity, 12 meters per second. Still going down though. Still going down. I'm gonna start the final burn below 500 meters, despite I said below 1000, to save some fuel. Okay, that's not us quite significantly, which is good. Though I think that these ones have... it doesn't show. Never mind. But we'll need a bit more of a jolt. Okay, like so. 4.3 meters seems solid, 4.2 should be okay. Nice! Okay, we did it! Kerbalik VIII was a success. Look at that fuel! Oh my god. Well, anyway, we've done it and we can now recover the vessel. Okay, we got still 10 science. You can see that we got way less money though. We got 4,881 funds, but I believe Kerbalik cost, yeah, we lost about 1,000 on this mission. So let's see. Total reputation plus 0. What? I finished our missions, didn't I? Yeah. Okay, so we gained 14 for that, didn't we? I think we did. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we did. Anyway, let's see what we can do now. We got test Separatorn 1 landed at Kerbin, and test... okay. This one gives us science and a bit of money. The Separatorn 1 landed at Kerbin. I think we already did that one. Test Rockamax BACC solid fuel booster. Test LV10 landed at Kerbin. Interesting. Oh, this is giving science as well. Holy hell, we can do these two and gain 2 science. Landed at Kerbin. Landed at Kerbin. I think I'm gonna do these two mainly off cam though, because that's just really not that important. Though no prestige from these ones. Interesting, but 2 science, guys. 2 science. That's gonna come in handy. So let's accept this one and accept this one. Actually, I changed my mind and I decided to show you guys Kerbalik C, which is this little rocket here. We are going to test with Bob Kerman, our scientist. I put 2 of these Separatrons on this one, gave them as little fuel as possible, and gave them... well, I limited their thrust to absolute minimum. I don't know why it doesn't show here. Interesting. Though, we got both of the engines here ready, so we're gonna run the test right now. I hope nothing is going to... okay, we don't have an SAS operational module. I'm gonna lower the thrust to absolute minimum. So, I tested the Separatrons, that's 1 science for us. And I tested the main engine, that's another 1 science for us. Cool! So this is all. That was easy. That was easy. Let's recover the vessel and check how we're doing. We gained 2,487 funds. Actually, this was worth even our money. Oh, that is so cool. I wasn't expecting that. And we gained 2 science, so we get 12 now. Are there any more interesting missions there? Radio decoupler, stack decoupler. Landed at Kerbin. Man, we're raking in science from this thing. It's so awesome. This one is gonna give us radio decoupler landed at Kerbin. This one is going to be expensive though. I can guess. Or an stack decoupler landed on Kerbin. You know what? Let's. And this one is just stack decoupler. Now let's take it, you know, so that we clear these missions out. What the hell? I'm gonna show you Kerbalik D as well. It's just the stack decouplers, this one and this one. This is actually not worth it. We are wasting a lot of money on this. This one alone costs 600 bucks. But you know what? We need that science. We need that science. So let's test out this one first. It's the... which one is it? TT38K radio decoupler. I think we already tested that one. Oh, the explosions, man. Oh, the explosions. But yeah, this one is done. And this one is done. Cool. So, another one into the space books, guys. 10% challenge in progress. Oh, and we got debris. Okay, yeah, you can see that we lost about 600 bucks on this one. And we don't really have much. Okay, in flight over Kerbin. This is quite expensive. And radio mount parachutes in flight over Kerbin. Oh, this one is nice, and this one is nice too. So this is gonna be a full-fledged mission for the next term, because we're gonna have what 800 bucks and 10 for this one and 2 prestige. Yeah, 12 more prestige for us. You know, I'm not jelly. You know, I'm not jelly, and we need just like 1 more point for. No, 2 more points of science for this one. Okay, Kerbalik IX will have an LV909 liquid fuel engine in flight over Kerbin test, and also Mark II radio mount parachute in flight over Kerbin test. But I wanted to lay in front of you a mission to get your opinion about the Rockomax BACC solid fuel booster in flight over Kerbin. By finishing the Kerbalik C and D missions, we get to 13 science, and this one would give us 1 point. I also have an idea how we could get more points. The BACC solid fuel booster is actually really good, and we could use a pair of these to get to high orbit above Kerbin. While there, we could use the mystery goo canisters, of course, mystery goo canisters, and take a lot of science. It would be about, I would say, 6 science points from that alone, plus the science point from this one. It would be really tricky to master though, because we'd probably need 2 of these, and maybe 3 main engines to get to such an incredible height. I'm not even sure how much this one weighs. But if we manage to do that, we could finally get the survivability and even think about reaching stability. This one would give us radio decouplers, which would be really good. Though we already got, now we got the stack decouplers. So that would be pretty good. And with this, we could actually start thinking about doing funny stuff like orbits. And this one would help even more with the orbits. So yeah. And once we are capable of reaching orbits, you know, we can start doing the shenanigans like, for example, visual surveys, which gives us more science, even more science. So yeah. Orbit Kerbin though, that's the thing we're after. But, you know, this is just a thing of the future. I just wanted to lay it in front of you because that's most likely what Kerbalik X might be. Well, Kerbalik IX, we already said, would be another testing mission.